This is like one of my favorite places ever. Out there are Chef Jeannie's chickens. His wife bought that coop for him for their chickens out there. And this front garden.
Let me just record this so we know where we are.
So this front garden, you can see we have all edibles. So you'll see like sweet potato leaf, there's pineapple seed, more sweet potato leaf, there's some lavender. I'll take care of it.
Do you feel like your pharmacology lexicon has gone down and your vegetable lexicon has gone up?
I would agree with that. Yes.
You're like, what drug? What is this?
All these new drugs. I do still try.
Can you grow it? Like,
I know, exactly. I still try to keep up, but it's like, oh my gosh! I was telling my husband that the other day. I said, you know, I feel like most of my time now is devoted to really diving into the literature on like food and like the properties that like the phytochemicals and you know the effects on health. And I said it's interesting to be focused so much more on health than on kind of like the pharmaceutical treatment. So you can see here our beehive and the bees coming in and out and kind of hanging out there.
I'm gonna stay realist still.
You can see with weather changes, so when it's going to rain, even hours before, you'll see more bees going in, so you can almost like predict the weather just by what the bees are doing.
How many would you say are in there?
Thousands. There's a lot. I'm not sure. Jamie could tell you the exact number, but there's quite a few. And all edible, which is so fun. So it's really neat when we have people come to CVI to just walk through the gardens and taste. This is a hibiscus leaf. If you want to try anything, please take a bite. It has a really nice like cranberry punch, I think.
Oh wow, that tanginess.
Yeah. And hibiscus roselle, like the which you would make the tea out of, is different, but that still has such good hibiscus flavor. This is like a crystal lettuce. If you want to try this, it's pretty salty, but really, I think it's delicious. It's kind of succulent.
I like it.
It's funny, when I came here, my daughter was with me and we were touring around, and that was one of her favorite things.
Oh yeah.
And I even emailed him afterwards, like, what was that again? But it's really fun to be able to come out here and see different things. And you can see a lot of things just volunteer, like these tribes.
So can you tell me a little bit about the origin story of the CVI?
Yeah. And I'm sure Jamie can do a better job. They built this building in order to bring chefs from around the world here. So prior to COVID, about 600 chefs a year were coming to the CVI to come out into the fields, to learn, to cook with their teams, to experiment with recipes. It's really a place of innovation and creation and getting, you know, down in the soil, in with the vegetables, and thinking of new ideas and really pushing like the culinary edge.
Love it.
This building I always just love. I have to show you the library. It's one of my favorite spaces. Thank you. Oh, good. You can see I love the stairwells too. We can look at some. We'll walk up there, but all the pictures. So this is a great event space. We do about quarterly like health and wellness events. We did a digestive health event. Now we're going to do an immune health event. But it's a really fun place for people to come together. This is our kitchen where our culinary team works. It's in here. can see some of our cones. And one of the things I admire most is that they let nothing go to waste. So you will see them using all sorts of things. And here's George in his pea suit.
Hey, George.
Hello.
This is Dr. Collins.
Hi, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You want to tell them a little bit about what you're doing?
So right now I'm just pulling some of our honey supers off. Let me grab my primer and I can actually show you one.
Is there a way we can turn on one?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I love this poster.
Do you know where the lights are?
I gave him the signal. He's there.
Oh, good.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? You good?
Oh, there it is. She like reaches up.
Contact in the dark.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. You're gonna try
This one almost for certain isn't going to have much in it. I always start from the middle and work the way in. This is the easiest way to remove.
It's so cool. I love the smell of the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And you smoke the bees.
You smoke the bees, it's kind of a multi-purpose reasoning behind it. It helps to interrupt them communicating with each other. So they can't say, hey, go sting this guy.
So what does that mean, smoke? Like, how you would think?
They use like smoke.
Yeah, generally we use like a burlap bag and like wood shavings. Tree bark works great, yard trimmings, pretty much anything that's not toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Because bees spent thousands and thousands of years living inside of hollow trees. So to them, the smell of smoke means our house is on fire. So as soon as they smell it, they will start to dive down into the hive and gorge themselves on honey. In the event that the smoke continues, the temperature starts to rise, they will actually flee the hive and swarm to go find a new hive because they think, oh my God, our house is on fire. Get the picture, get the dog, and get out. And as I said, it also interrupts them because they communicate through scent as well as dance. So it interrupts them being able to smell each other's scent. So I believe the scent that they release to tell each other, hey, go swarm this person and sting them.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, if I remember correctly, it actually smells like bananas.
Oh, interesting.
So that's what we're looking for.
Beautiful.
Almost fully capped frame. This will clean up a little bit.
Oh my God!
Dripping.
Yeah.
And then we'll send them out to restaurants. And if you really, 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 really love honey, you can buy one of these to buy for your home for I think $175. Comes with this stand, and you can gorge yourself on honey too.
Nice.
Yeah, they're not real happy today with it being overcast. They do not like wet rain because they actually navigate using the sun. So when it's real overcast, everyone stays home, and then there's 40 or 50,000 bees in the hive instead of like 10. So it's a lot more to deal with.
So what are the steps after you do this to get to?
We do a few different things with our whole frame. We cut it. Like this one frame that has the big jetting out part, which basically, this frame was just a little bit too much away from the other one, so they decided, let's build some comb in between that, which drives me nuts. This one, we use a wax foundation, which you can't really see it with honey in. We use a wax foundation for shipping purposes because there is a natural beeswax in the center that we install that has little thin wire rods that go through to give us some support while it's getting shipped. Otherwise, they would probably collapse down on itself. FedEx and UPS slinging them back and forth. So like that one there will actually cut. I just cut some the other day. For our cut comb, it's about a 3-day process as well. We actually cut it, and then it sits for 2 to 3 days to drip off the excess. So that way when we package it, you have
Wow.
a nice piece of comb and it's not swimming in honey around it.
That's
And of
it.
course-
There's nothing else added or taken away. That's it.
It's
Wow.
just honeycomb, which over time this will crystallize because it is raw honey. Raw honey will crystallize. When you're at the grocery store and you see a jar of honey that's cloudy, it's not necessarily a bad sign because that's a guarantee that it was raw, it's unpasteurized, unprocessed. So once you pasteurize it or process it,
It looks more transparent.
well, won't crystallize once it's pasteurized. So if you want,
Like pure as possible.
Yeah.
Go for cloudy.
it doesn't have to be cloudy. It's just a lot of people see the cloudy honey and they're instantly like, oh, that's bad. And it's not. It's just started to crystallize. Like this is one that we crystallized. This is actually remnants of one of our whipped honeys that we actually add seed from a previous batch of creamed honey, which I always hate calling it creamed honey because then people think it has dairy.
Yeah.
Which it does not. It is just straight honey that we crystallize it with the seed honey from the previous batch to kind of control and help shape the form of the crystals. And then we just whip it and whip air into it.
Yeah.
It turns into almost like a honey butter.
Maybe whipped honey.
Yeah.
Whipped honey.
Yeah, whipped honey is a lot better. I did have a jar. Like this is all of our excess that we have after trimming.
And what do you do with this?
This, I'm just kind of holding on to till I have enough to bother to process it. So we smash it up because this is all the remnants of the honeycomb from the whole frames that I cut. Kind of smash it up with a rolling pin to break the cells open. And then it goes into an oven about 100 degrees. And it'll kind of make the wax float to the top. The honey will sink to the bottom. Then you pull the wax off, strain the honey about 2 to 3 times to get all the little wax particles out of it. Then that we'll make creamed honey out of. Then the wax itself, we'll smash it up again, put it in the oven about 115. That'll actually melt the wax off, and then all the wax will rise to the top, and all the honey will drop to the bottom.
Nice.
And then we're in the process of figuring out what to do with all the wax.
We're working on some candles.
Yeah, candles,
so-
scrubs.
Well, like she was saying that, you guys don't waste anything. So that's
Yeah.
great that you keep thinking on
Yeah, we had
what to do.
Birthday party about a month ago that we actually made hand-dipped beeswax candles for the birthday candle.
Nice. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Up here is our library. So these are a bunch of farming books.
Oh, wow.
And it's just really neat space. I feel like this is such like an inspirational place too, to just come and like browse through the books. We have an Airbnb here on site where people can stay just on the floor down the hall.
Really?
So people will come and you kind of can come in this space and enjoy the book. It's really cool. Thank you. Oh my gosh, perfect. So these are our root vegetable slices. And one of the things I love about the root vegetable slices is it's literally root vegetables, calcium, and salt. There's nothing crazy in it. They're brined, but they can be seared as a deli meat replacement. So it's a vegan alternative to deli meat that you would find in the store.
Oh my God.
With super clean ingredients. The vegetables are grown here on the farm. 5 different root vegetables, super nutrient dense. You can eat it raw. My kids will even eat it raw, but you can also cook it just like you would. So the sandwich possibilities are crazy.
Yeah.
Chef Jamie and George and the team, they made 25 different sandwiches using the red root vegetable slices just for one like experimental kind of slide deck. It was outstanding. And I think, most of the sandwiches you know and love are using deli cuts versus like the hamburger. We weren't going to try to recreate the veggie burger. We were really looking for how do we keep it clean? How do we keep it simple and really approachable for the home cook?
This could be purchased online.
Yep, it can be purchased online. We also sell it to restaurants as well. So
We promoted it to Disney as one of our top customers is Disney, and they promoted this in front of their chefs, and they had tacos, pizzas, all the different slide deck versions, and they tasted it and they approved. So us being already a provider of vegetables to Disney, they
Oh man, if you can get Disney.
yeah, I know. That's
so we're very excited about launching this, and it is cold brine, so it's not processed in any way except through the cold.
It's not
brine
denatured. Enzymes are still good,
Yes.
right?
exactly. Yep.
So-
And it's such a game-changing product. I think when we looked at the space of meat imitation,
Yeah.
there's so much processing that goes into it,
Yeah.
right? And so this was clean, pure, simple. How do we really stay true to the vegetable while providing that like deli experience?
What is your opinion about, the plant-based transition meats and all that? Without naming names, obviously, but what is your opinion about that? Are we in the right direction? Do you think it's just befitting for just meat lovers?
I think to each their own, right? I do think a lot of resources, when you look from an environmental perspective, also go into making some of those plant-based products. The level of processing that some of the ingredients go through as well gets it a little bit further removed from the original plant source. So I tend to prefer things in their whole form, vegetables, whole grains, beans, legumes, all the things. When you can eat as close to nature and as close to its natural form as possible, I think you're probably going to have an advantage there.
Yeah.
And
Amen to
the
that.
chef's idea was we need to offer something. We have people coming in our high-end restaurants, and we need to offer something for a vegetarian. And it's a lot to have all the things on a menu and then jump over to processing. Say it's a great steakhouse or seafood house.
Yeah.
Now they have an option. They can make it in whatever variety they want and however they want to present it on a plate or a sandwich or a wrap or something, but they have an option that they can grab and be able to use and know that it's a good quality.
Yeah. My hopes from a culinary perspective is to make plants as high-end as, meat and seafood, and, not everyone just run to like a steakhouse, and actually, change our minds,
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Any team building things you guys do with the other staff members and the harvesters and everyone that from soil to packing and all that?
At the end of the year, we have, Val, tell me the name. It's like a harvest day, right? Like
Right. Family pick day.
family pick day where everybody comes together and picks before the frost, and then can take it home to their families. So that's a really great team building activity, and everyone comes with their families. You get to meet each other's families and see each other's kids. That's really a lot of fun.
And then we have monthly team meetings that say what Chef Jamie and his team are doing, and say what maybe new products are coming and how the sales are going, just to keep everybody informed. At one time we can all get together to say hello, because we are spread out across the farm, but we do have team meetings just to bring the team together and celebrate what they're doing. The last team meeting, Chef Jamie and Farmer Lee were at the American Culinary Federation in Las Vegas, and they did presentations in front of the chefs, and they videotaped it, and chefs were giving us a standing ovation for what we're doing on the farm. So it kind of helps build the, team at the farm. They know that they're out there telling the story. They may not actually be the ones planting or harvesting, but they are telling the story of what all the team members are doing, and it's amazing, the support.
That's good. It'll be interesting to know from a health perspective, like all the team workers, if, you just do like a survey of, what health conditions or, things that they battled with, of course not, revealing any personal identifying information, but just kind of see how that much that's decreased or increased or stayed the same, because, there are I would presume eating, just as well, right? And see how they've done over time.
That's one of the things we're actually working with right now, a local hospital system. We're looking to start a project where we're going to get baseline labs and then have people eat, at least in like the intervention group, have people eat more vegetables from our farm, do maybe a midpoint and a final evaluation, just see what impact that has versus just going about whatever your normal consumption is, and we'll measure consumption at baseline.
Yeah. That's exciting.
It's kind of fun to be able to put some numbers to it too, and not just I think oftentimes very well intentioned we just say eat more vegetables or do this or that, but without a lot of like direction around it, or like a lot of the how. And so I think teaching like the basic culinary skills, which I know you're really into and passionate about, and like having the access to fresh vegetables grown in a way that really supports health, and then being able to apply that.
Yeah.
We have a thing right now we're going on. We can check off eating a color a day, making sure you eat all the colors, and we check it off and we can turn it in. And there's a prize of a Vitamix. Once we turn our charts in, they'll draw one of those. So
one of our team challenges this month, like with internally all of our staff, like eating the rainbow, at least eating one color for a vegetable.
Yeah. I think that's a very simple goal, especially for the younger generations to, be able to identify and, something beyond just a potato or a tomato, so.
Yeah. And I always try to emphasize diversity is so important when it comes to food, not only for the health benefits, but for your sensory experience. I think we've really taken that sensory experience out of eating sometimes, where we're distracted, we're not really in the eating experience. But when you bring all your senses, you optimize digestion as well as assimilation, how all of those nutrients are used in the body.
Gotta feed the little guys.
Yeah, that's right. Gotta help those microbes.
all right, well, we're back at the farm, so
Okay. So we just wrapped up touring the facilities. We went through packing, where all the microgreens were growing, saw a whole variety of different kinds of vegetables, how they package their vegetable boxes for home delivery. Got to see Farmer Bob, Jr. And got some great discussions with him and Dr. Amy, Valerie, who toured us, through everything. And it's been an enlightening experience. And you guys definitely want to check it out. Definitely order a vegetable box from them. And I can't wait for the movement to keep going, to keep pushing the needle forward. So, and I'll see you guys on the next one.